Salut! Today I'm going to share with you a great little exercise that will help you stop hesitating and getting stuck when you speak French. This exercise will boost your fluency, your ability to speak smoothly, quickly, and comfortably. So are you ready to say au revoir to hesitations? C'est parti! Welcome to Quirky French Podcast, the podcast that helps you speak more confidently, feel more focused, and be more in control of your French learning journey. Prêt? C'est parti! Salut! And welcome to episode 41 of Quirky French Podcast, the podcast where I give you my best tips to reach fluency and become confident when you speak French. I'm your coach Naima from quirkyfrench.com, and if you often get stuck when you speak, or if you tend to rely on the same vocabulary and the same sentence structures all the time, because if you don't, you do get stuck, chances are you may need to develop fluency. So think about fluency exercises as kind of stretching exercises for your body. You want to make sure that you can move your body comfortably. You don't want to have a tense, stiff body. And fluency is all about that. It's all about becoming flexible. So today we're going to do just that. You're going to become kind of a speech gymnast, a speech acrobat, okay? And when you incorporate this exercise into your routine, you'll find that you can think faster and you can also monitor your speaking much better. And to do that, tell a little story over and over again, but each time you're going to change some key elements, and this exercise is going to require you to manipulate the language and to change some words, change some grammar every time. Okay, so I'm going to start with the exercise. I'll show you what the exercise is, and then I'll tell you exactly how you can apply it depending on your level. So without further ado, let's start the exercise. Allez, c'est parti. Okay, so step 1, tell me a sentence, okay? Any sentence, it doesn't really matter what you're talking about. If you want to practice some vocabulary, you can incorporate some vocabulary. Just tell me anything, okay? Step 2, tell me the same sentence, but this time change the perspective. So change the pronouns, okay? If the sentence was about you and if you said je, now change the pronouns and use tu, il, nous, and so on. Okay? Step 3, tell me the same sentence again, but use the negative form. Okay? So if you already used the negation, change it to the positive and vice versa. Okay? Next step, change the sentence to a question. Next step, tell me the story as if it happened yesterday. Next step, tell me the story as if it was going to happen next week. Okay, so you get the idea, and I hope you can see how this exercise helps you build fluency. So here's a little example here. Starting with the original sentence. Je voyage souvent en avion. Nous voyageons souvent en avion. Je ne voyage pas souvent en avion. Est-ce que je voyage souvent en avion? Je voyageais souvent en avion. J'ai souvent voyagé en avion. Je voyagerai souvent en avion. Je vais voyager souvent en avion. Okay? So the key thing here, if you do this exercise and if you're not really careful about it and if you're not really deliberate about how you do this exercise, it's really easy to kind of fall into that trap of doing one step at a time and kind of be lazy about it without really paying attention to your fluency. Okay, so to gain the full benefits and to really become fluent by doing this exercise, you want to make sure that you repeat each step as often as necessary. Okay, don't just move on to the next step immediately because you're not really doing that stretching that we were talking about earlier. Okay, so repeat the same step over and over again. If you notice that you do a lot of kind of mental processing and that you're kind of like frowning and thinking a lot about what you're saying, it means that you still need to repeat the sentence, okay? So really pay attention to how you're speaking and what goes on in your mind as well, okay? And once you realize that you can say the sentence comfortably, fluently, and smoothly, only then can you move to the next step, okay? So repeat the same sentence over and over again until you reach fluency, okay? Now, perhaps you're wondering, how is this exercise going to help me become fluent when I'm just repeating something? Isn't fluency about being able to speak spontaneously and speak smoothly at the same time? So this exercise is actually helping you become fluent because you're practicing tapping into your grammar and into different sentence structures, and you're really working on accessing that knowledge faster until you can speak smoothly without hesitation. Okay? Now, if you're a beginner, simply start with one sentence, like the demonstration. If you're an intermediate learner, you can do this exercise with a little story. So 3 to 5 sentences, that's perfect. And if you're a more advanced learner, prepare an actual story or a little presentation. Write down 10 bullet points and then practice this exercise on a full story, like a 2-minute presentation or something like that. And that's it. Now you know what to do. I hope you find this little exercise really helpful. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comment section and I'll make sure to reply. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will catch up with you next week for another episode of Quirky French Podcast. And in the meantime, as always, keep learning, keep growing, and keep it quirky. I'll catch you soon. Bye! Allez, salut et à la semaine prochaine!